Up next, we have Danny Norris. Danny Norris is the Texas House District candidate for House District 142. That seat is currently held by Harold Dutton. Harold didn't exactly have some great votes this last legislative session. We're really happy to hear from Danny because we really need somebody fighting for people in that district and doing the right thing and standing up for the Democratic platform. So we're so happy to introduce you now to Danny. So Danny, welcome. Tell us a little bit about you and why you're running for office.
So I'm Danny Norris. I'm running for House District 142, which is here in Houston, and basically the northeast part of Houston. And I'm running for a few reasons. I'm a lawyer by trade. I was a legal educator. I was in legal education for a while. And I found myself back in 2018. I ran for the county school board. I got a chance to work on the school districts, all the school districts in Harris County. There's 25 of them in the area. So I got to work with the big urban ones. We got to work with some of the suburban ones, some of the ones that are on the edge of the county that are kind of rural, and watch a lot of the kids that would have fell out of the system. We got a chance to work with them and do some programs to watch them actually, turn their whole lives around. While on the school board, I realized that you can't control everything in the education space. You can't control economics. You can't control healthcare issues. You can't control, environmental issues that are pushing people out of different communities. And when you realize the state and local officials are the ones who are responsible for a lot of these different parts, and I decided that I would actually be better served than us. Those who are not familiar, Houston Independent School District has been taken over by the state, and the incumbent, who actually was one of the authors of the bill, he wrote an op-ed piece that basically said, yes, my amendment helped HID get taken over by the state, and I have no regrets. Not many people here in Houston are big Abbott fans, to say the least, and you basically have given them the keys to come and take over the biggest school district in Texas. So he's been there for quite a long time. I think 40 years is quite long enough, to say the least. I just feel like I am definitely the better candidate. I definitely would not vote to keep Ken Paxton. So I am definitely all for fighting and sticking it to Texas. And I just feel like it's time to go to Austin and do that fight there. So that's why I'm here. I'm here to go and actually make some things happen. I'm very much think that there's some things that we're just leaving on the table. We definitely need to expand the Affordable Care Act. We understand that they don't like the idea that it was once upon a time called Obamacare, but we've been giving money back to the federal government for now over a decade. We need to get that money and actually use it for the benefit of our residents, as opposed to just keeping them off of and having the highest uninsured rate in the country as we currently do. We definitely need more economic impact, and that's one of my bigger issues. Because large swaths of my community and my district are economically distressed. One of my zip codes is the lowest life expectancy in the county, 19 years lower than the highest. So there's almost a 20-year gap. So that's me, and hopefully you get to know just a little bit more about me.
Well, that sounds great. Can you tell us
Sure.
about like the main issues that are going to be on the top of your list?
My top three and the committees, the top three committees that I'm looking towards joining, for the economic empowerment, I'm looking to business to industry, because I think we need a number of businesses. We do have workforce development, and we did one of the programs we did start over when I was on the school board was a adult education program. It's the biggest one in the state. And so workforce development and business and starting business to make sure people have economic foundation to address some of the socioeconomic issues. Healthcare is also is also on that list. So healthcare, expanding healthcare, making sure that these life expectancies are not as short as they are. And then the third one would be education, of course. Education is the beginning of everything, but you have to address those other issues around it. So those are my top three. There are subcomponents of things like healthcare, like the environment that are affecting people's healthcare, and education and how it ties into other systems like criminal justice and things like that. That are related. And of course, voting that makes it all happen. But those are my top three.
Okay, so Danny, because I know a little bit about your district, I'm going to ask you a
Mm-hmm.
couple other questions. So,
Sure.
you have a plan for increasing voter turnout in your district? I mean, are you going to really focus in on that? Because that was the work that has not been getting done while Harold Dutton has been in office.
I agree. I'm going to definitely do the block walking, the door knocking, and all of those things. I want to specifically engage younger voters, because and we definitely appreciate our seniors. Sometimes it seems like they're the main ones that are coming to the polls, and it's like, well, what happens when they leave us at some point. They will. They don't stay forever. So it's like we have to have the next generation actually participate. So making sure that the young people actually are involved and actually do cast their vote is one of my bigger focuses from every aspect, and making sure we actually make that happen. So yes, it's a very big part of my desire to actually make sure more people are accessing the services of government and understanding what their role is, to make sure they hold us accountable and become more involved.
Okay, that sounds great. So Danny, where can we find you?
My website is Danny Norris, DannyNorris. That's Norris like Chuck, just a little darker. You go to my website, they have links to Facebook, Instagram, my email, those different things. But that's where you can find out a little bit more about me.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you for joining us.
Absolutely.
Thank you for running against Harold Dutton and running for HD 142. It's super important that we have a great candidate who can really represent the Democratic platform that most Texans, believe in. So thank you so much.
My pleasure. Thank you.